I need a video like this for every position, bro. Gain to follow. Yes, my man.
Don't tell me how to do my fucking job. Positive comments are cool, but you want to know what else is cool? Having the ability to insult my subscribers whenever the fuck I want to. So get this soppy shit out of the way. We are doing another fucking tier list on my idea. This isn't yours, it's mine. I decided to do more of this. I'm sick and tired of this shit telling me what to do in my life. Fuck, this is gonna go bad. Before we start this video as well, ignore this back here. It's a present from a grandparent. So you can, it explains a lot, it really does. But today we are doing another tier list. You guys had some really positive response to the point guard tier list video that I did, so I'm going to do another one on the shooting guards before new content coming in tomorrow. I'm gonna pick up my controller before I fucking do anything. I hope I haven't broken it, Jesus. Nah, shit works fine. My controller never breaks. As you can see here, we have 27 different shooting guards that we're going to be using in our tier list video today. All up to pink diamond, because at this point in NBA 2K, there are so many shooting guard, good shooting guards, bad shooting guards, all in that pink diamond 2 Galaxy Opal range. We're getting a lot of them, but they're very common. Very, very common. I tried to stay away from the token reward Galaxy sorry, not Galaxy Opals, shooting guards. I try to stay away from the pink diamond shooting guards, the rewards, because I know that they'll probably end up just taking up half of this, and I don't want the video to go that long. You guys will lose interest, let's be completely honest. If we talk about token rewards all the time, then it's not going to get us anywhere. But shooting guard tier list. I'm going to quickly rearrange this so I got the Galaxy Apples at the start, because at the moment it's just pissing me off looking at it. Okay, I think all the Galaxy Apples are at the start now, because I want to do it in order. I'm sorry, it just pissed me off. Now, we're going to look at what the tiers are first before we start. We have in-game potential, which are cards that I think can make it towards the end of NBA 2K20 or are already at that point. We got comp or potential comp, being cards that are already working now as competitive cards or potentially competitive cards. We've got Isai, it's not bad, Isai. We got that, that's our middle. That used to be last time, but now it's Isai. Last time we had sorry, as our second to last tier. This time we have pass. Do we want to smash or pass? No, these cards are the ones we want to pass. And the last one are for cards that have come out my ass. Look, I'm trying to think of new ways to insult the worst kinds of cards on this board, and look, that's just how it's gonna go. They came out my ass, right? They're shit. That's what it's basically ensuing. But let's stop rambling on. We are going to go to our first one. Michael Jordan Galaxy Opal. Now, obviously, it's going to be either endgame or comp, potential endgame, potential comp. What I'm trying to think though is whether they will release any better Michael Jordans throughout the year, and I don't see them releasing another Galaxy Opal Michael Jordan. Potentially, maybe if there's like a limited version of him, if they decide to do that throughout the year, because we haven't had anything necessarily limited throughout the entire year. Glitched, I guess, is the closest we've had to limited. All those locker code cards we had at the start of the year, if you remember that, that's sick. Those cards were just good to have, good for videos. I wish I had one. But I'm going to put him at endgame or potential endgame. Now, I think he sits in potential endgame because he may have a card that comes out better than him, but I still think this card can smash it out the park and be in an endgame squad. Prime rewards, Ray Allen. This is the card you got for completing all the prime collection cards that we had to get, which was like the T-Mac, the Derrick Rose, the Tim Duncan, the John Stockton, and there's one more card that I'm forgetting, and I feel like that's bad on me. I shouldn't be forgetting the last one. Wilt Chamberlain, that's it. But I'm going to put this one in potential comp or comp because I think the card is good. It's definitely not a bad card. He's just really one-dimensional. He is a shooter. He's a knockdown shooter, but at this point in 2K, you can get cards who shoot just as well as him for a lot cheaper. Just for a hell of a lot cheaper. And I do not think this card would be worth being in the end game at all. Brandon Roy. Now, this one I think is much easier to get than Ray Allen, because with this card, all you need to do is save up like 300, 400k MT. And you can just keep recycling that MT to complete all the spotlight challenges and get this card. That one costs like $1 mil just to get, and you can't sell it all back. This one, you really have to save up all that. I'm going to put him in comp though. I do not see this card reaching it to the end. He's definitely comp, don't get me wrong at all. But this card, usually the reward cards end up being a bit worse than we like. And I think this card, unfortunately, is going to fall under that. Now, Galaxy Opal T-Mac. This T-Mac and just Tracy McGrady in general this year in 2K has been ridiculous. His card is so overpowered. His jump shot is beautiful. I have to put him in endgame. He's gonna make it, surely. This T-Mac is overpowered. He may cost a bit, but it's off for a good reason. Galaxy Opal Vince Carter. I do like this Vince Carter card. I've seen him. I haven't used him, but I have seen him work. I don't see this one going into endgame though. I think it is comp for sure, but it doesn't reach potential endgame status. Its price has dropped dramatically, and I think that says a lot about the card. I can stop it pretty easy with certain cards. One of the cards in this lineup that we can choose from is my favorite card, so I mean, you guys already know there's gonna be a lot of endgame cards in this one, but I think Vince Carter has to be in that comp area. Now, Pink Diamond, Bradley Beal. Not too sure. I did look at his stats a little bit. He's alright. I think he does have the potential to be comp, but at the same time, I'm second guessing whether we'll see him in comp, so I'm gonna put him in his side because I think there's gonna be a lot more cards that will beat him or outplay him into the comp section, especially with his Galaxy Opal card being in this tier list specifically. It makes it much harder for these Pink Diamonds to make it into comp. And personally, I just don't see many of these Bradley Beals. Like, he may be a good card, but he's very under the radar, and I think that's for a reason. Karis LeVert, for many of the same reasons as Bradley Beal, I'm gonna put in his side because I don't see anything bad in his game. He's just so under the radar. I think yesterday, it was yesterday, you could still pull him in packs. The card didn't really gather that much attention, and I think that's for a reason. I think the card definitely had its flaws, maybe not even that many flaws, but just not as good as these comp level cards. So I'm gonna put him in SI. We have a CJ McCollum, and again, I'm not gonna explain further. I'm gonna put him in SI. Again, flew under the radar a bit. Clyde Drexler. Now, this card was a 12-0 reward back a few months ago, I think, and I think the card is alright. But again, it has to go on his side because the comp level cards have to be, 1, noticeable, and 2, they have to play very, very well. Because these cards here, Brandon Roy, Ray Allen, Vince Carter, when you see them, you know they're going to be good. They're noticeable. And not only that, they play well enough to get themselves into this comp/potential comp area. With Clyde Drexler, you may come up against him, but you don't know whether he's going to play well, and you don't feel like he's going to overpower you. For all I know, he's the greatest card in the game, but when I come up against a Clyde Drexler, I don't get too worried. I don't try and look out for him. I will usually just play my usual game without any problems. Now, Pink Diamond T-Mac, probably 2K MyTeam community's favorite card for quite a while. I'm going to put him in potential comp purely because we have Galaxy Opal T-Mac in the top. He is a ridiculous card, but at this point in the game, end game players are going to be using Galaxy Opal Tracy McGrady. They're not going to be using Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady purely because they probably could afford to get the Galaxy Opal Tracy McGrady by the end of the year. David Thompson. I actually just played a David Thompson in a recent Triple Threat Online game, and for that reason, I'm going to put him in pass. The card is a legacy card, and legacy cards have the reputation of playing quite under their rating. And this David Robinson, he is a good slasher. He can play off the dribble, but he doesn't have a very reliable jump shot. And that is a killer in this game. It really is. So I'm going to put him on the pass. Devin Booker. Pink Diamond Devin Booker. Again, I don't get too scared when I come up against him. He may be a good card, but I'm going to put him in SI. You're going to see me put a lot of cards in this middle section because I'm horrific at deciding whether they go higher or lower. But I'm going to put him in the middle section. Again, for most of the reasons, the rest of the cards are in there. Now, Drazen Petrovic. I'm going to put him in potential comp. The reason I put him there, he has a 99 3-ball. I don't care what his other stats are. If he is a spot-up shooter, he is comp. If he has a 99 3-point, he is comp. He is potential comp at least. He can just be a simple spot-up shooter. And if you learn to use him well, he's going to kill it. He's going to kill people. And so I think he does have the potential to be competitive. Now, my favorite card in the game, my favorite one by about 1,000,000 points over the rest of them. I'm sorry, but unless there is another shooting guard Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade that you can get that isn't a collector reward, this card is endgame. I don't care. His range extender is Hall of Fame plus. It may say gold on his card, but he is Hall of Fame plus. This dude is out of this world godly. I use him all the time. He outshines Galaxy Opal KD on my team. He is just a ridiculous card. I tweeted a bit ago, when I say a bit ago, I think maybe an hour ago, I came up against my first Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade. You wanna know what happened? I beat him with this card. I beat him. That's ridiculous. That's not supposed to happen. That should tell you how endgame this card is. Eric Gordon, personally, I'm going to put him in pass. And the reason I'm putting him in pass is because he's not that good of a ball handle. He does have an 86 ball handle, but he's not the card you want to really be using. I think Eric Gordon is much more of a spot-up shooter, and sure, he's a good spot-up shooter, but he's not 99 like Drazen Petrovic. And the reason I put all the Isaiah players in that tier is because I know they can handle the ball. Eric Gordon would feel very, very clunky. I would not like to use that card very often. Okay, we got a double here. We have shooting guard, Moments James Harden, and shooting guard, current series 2. Series 2, yeah, current series 2. I don't know why that was so hard to spit out. But I have these two cards that I'm going to put in cards that came out of my ass. They are awful. James Harden, the first James Harden, doesn't have clamps, which is fucking stupid. At the time, he was very, very good. At the time that he came out, he was good. But now, he is awful. A card that doesn't have clamps shouldn't be used in the game today at all. I don't care how good his ball handle or three-point shot is. If he can't play defense, I'm not using him. He is shit. And that goes with the current Series 2 card as well. For the most part, I'm going to be putting the current Series 2 cards in that last tier. They're just not good cards. Pink Diamond Jason Richardson. This is like the ultimate one you get from doing all the domination, completing all the evolutions that you get from domination, all those crazy evos that you have to do to get this card, and then evolve into a Galaxy Opal. But we're looking at Pink Diamond Jason Richardson because that's the only one I've really seen, and that's the only one I really expect people to see in their lineup. I'm going to put him in pass. It takes too much to get him. He's not that good of a card now. He has to be a pass. He's a good card, and definitely worth it, but I'd still put him in pass. I'd definitely put him in pass. Pink Diamond Allen Iverson. Now, obviously undersized, which is going to mess him up a bit. He's a very good scorer and a very good defender. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in Isai. He's alright. Obviously, his height is going to make it a lot more difficult to use him. He's noted as a shooting guard, but the only problem is I don't feel like he'd be able to hold his own when out on the court, and that's only because of his height. I wish if it was an Allen Iverson who's a bit tall, like a 6'6" shooting guard, then I think he'd make it to potential comp. But we may see how the end of the year goes. We may see a Galaxy Opal Allen Iverson. Good chance we do, and I'd like to be able to use it. Now, a Pink Diamond Joe Dumars. Honestly, I have not heard much about this card. I've only ever used him to complete spotlight challenges, and I barely use him. So, for that reason, he's come out of my ass. He's shit. That may piss some people off. I don't know who I'm pissing off when I do that, but I just don't use him, man. I just don't. Now, we have two Pink Diamond Klay Thompsons here. We have Pink Diamond Klay Thompson that we got as a collection reward for completing the Lights Out challenge, and a regular Prime VIP Klay Thompson card. I'm going to start with a Prime VIP card. This one I'm going to put in comp or potential comp. Card, for obvious reasons, is a very good player. I've actually used him. I've done a gameplay on him. I know he can somewhat dribble the ball. I was tempted to put him in his side, but I'm going to put him as potential comp just because he is a tall spot-up shooter. He can shoot that ball, and if you can use him long enough, he actually works quite well. However, this little piece of shit is going in cards that came out my ass for many reasons. One, his shot is not as good as the original one, and I don't know why you'd want him on your team. Two, it costs that much just to get him. He's not even worth it. He's like, he'd probably be 20k now if you were to have that card in the auction house today. It'd be worth 20k, and you have to pay like 200k MT to get him, probably more. And three, I'm not even sure whether he has clamps. Does he have clamps? And three, there's just a better option. There is a better option. I may have just repeated myself. I completely forgot. The card's shit, alright? Phil Chenier. I have done a gameplay on this one as well. But the thing is, he has kind of been passed up over time. Obviously, cards get better as the year goes by. And as much as I'd love to put him in a high tier, I have to put him in pass. Purely because he is one of those legacy players. He's very tough to use. He doesn't shine out. He doesn't have anything about him that makes you want to play with him. I can't even put him in Isai tier because he's just not that fast. He's not that kind of player. But he's definitely not shit, that's for sure. I remember using him and he was definitely not a shit card. Now, I've got this token reward market Reggie Lewis in here because I actually have used this card and I've done a gameplay on him. Surprise, surprise, I've done a lot of gameplays over the year. Reggie Lewis, I'm going to put him in his side. I remember using him. He has a somewhat good three-pointer if you can get used to it. He is a slamming machine. He knows how to go towards the basket and finish. So I really, really like that about him. And he's what, 150 tokens to get? He's not that much. So for sure, this card is definitely one that shines out to me. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, this card, again, is going to be in his side because, again, did a gameplay on him. Oh. But like many of the cards, probably like all of the cards that he's with in that Isai tier, he is just one of those cards that you don't get scared when you come up against. You know he can play well, but he isn't tough to shut down. He really isn't. Sidney Moncrief, another legacy card. This one is legacy 1, and I'm honestly not sure whether he goes here or here. Undersized shooting guard. Can't shoot. I'm going to put him in shit. That's purely because of the fact that I'm almost certain that this card has a really, really shit three-pointer. Like, not that good at all. He's only in there as, like, as a collection piece to get 200 tokens. I think that's all he is at this point in the game. If you're using Sidney Moncrief, I don't know what you're doing. He's, like, 20-ish K. So that much for a card this shit, don't know what you're doing. And finally, Pink Diamond, Zach Lavine. I'm going to put him in potential comp. This card is ridiculous. He is absolutely nuts. I don't know how a card like this has found its way so under the radar, I feel. All the Zach Lavine cards, I remember Zach Lavine killed me at the start of the year. He was the toughest card I had to come up against. So damn frustrating. But I'm honestly not too stressed about how under the radar he's gotten. It helps me out more than anything else. But definitely potential comp. He has a nice jump shot. He's extremely fast. Obviously, Zach Lavine, known for his dunking as well. He's a really strong dunker. But not endgame material. I feel like there's going to be a Galaxy Opal Zach Lavine at some point at the end of the year. So I can't see him being in the potential endgame or endgame at any point. That is my tier list. Hopefully you guys can leave some more comments down below asking me what I can improve on, whether you agree or disagree with me on any of these as well, because I'm always down for discussion. You guys really enjoyed the last tier list that I did, and I didn't have any like comments saying this was wrong or anything like that. So I'm actually quite happy. It's done pretty well. Hopefully it's more of the same here, but don't be afraid to post anything in the comments below. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me if I got anything spot on. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, comment down below any video ideas, suggestions, and constructive criticism, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are a quarter of the way through 300 to 400. We have hit 325 today, and I'm loving all the support, man. I can't get over all the support that I've been getting so far. It's been sick. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye! What the fuck was that?